know if I could be the kind of girl that you could be down for. Cause when I look at you, I feel something tell me that you're the kind of guy that I should make a move on. And if I don't let you know.
Hey, it's Mspaigealexia, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time seeing me, my name is Paige, but on YouTube and other social media platforms, I go by Mspaigealexia. So here on this channel, we do a little sprinkle of everything. We do some vlogging, DIY, fashion, beauty, chit chats, and everything under the sun. So if any of that interests you, please feel free to press that subscribe button and press your notification bell so you're notified every time I post a video. Or you can subscribe to my website, which I'll put right here, and I'll link in the description box. On there, you can keep up to date with my blog posts, some events, maybe even some giveaways. Plus, you can also see my YouTube information and videos up there as well. Also, please feel free to like and comment on this video so that I know that you like it, so I know if I can post some more content like this. You can also check out some of my vlogs that I posted. I went to Hawaii and I went to Cancun, like within 2 weeks of each other, so make sure you check out those videos as well. So today we're going to be doing a chit chat, get ready with me. I just wanted to talk to you guys about why I started this YouTube channel, why I have a website, why I have a blog, and all that stuff. So without further ado, let's get into this video. Hey y'all, what's up? So I know y'all are seeing me in a whole different scenery right now. Y'all see me in my studio space with my little background. Y'all saw me doing my vlogs like a few weeks ago, and then I had like my intro video where I was in a whole different like space with a different background. So this is another part of my studio space, so that'll be my next video. My next video will be just like a studio review. It's not completed, but I'll still show y'all. So I'm so happy to have y'all here with me on my channel. Today I'm actually in a rush, so I'm going to be doing my makeup with you guys. It's going to be like a chit chat, get ready with me. I just want to talk to you guys about basically why I started my YouTube channel, what got me to this point, and where I hope to be within like the next year or so, or just within the next few months, like my goals with having this YouTube channel, my target audience, and just my plans overall in starting this YouTube. I feel like it kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't do anything to like lead up to it. I kind of just dropped it and put it out there. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about why I decided to do it, and where my mind was, and just everything about, you know, just the journey and getting to this place right here. So this was actually supposed to be like one of my first videos that I wanted to drop when I first started, like doing my website, like posting my website and posting my channel and just everything about this, my Mspaigealexia brand. But I just didn't get the opportunity to do it because, you know, things just happened and I just wasn't able to do it. So I'm going to be doing my makeup with you guys today and just talking to you guys about that. Okay, I think I'm back. Either something happened with my mic or something happened with my camera. So I'm looking, if y'all see me looking this way and this way, I'm looking at my mirror, which is right here, so I can do my makeup, and I'm looking at my computer and my viewfinder so I can make sure that the camera is doing, like, it's focusing and I can see myself and it's not too like messed up. So I'm just making sure all that's right. But yeah, like I was saying, this will not be a detailed makeup routine. If you want a detailed makeup routine, let me know, put it in the comments or DM me, send me a message, put it on my website, whatever. I'll do that. But for the sake of this video and me just talking to y'all, it will not be a detailed makeup routine. It'll just be me kind of doing my makeup while I talk to y'all. So basically, just to start this off, I want to say that I'm so grateful for all the people who have watched my video thus far. I mean, I know it's not a lot, but I mean, I'm grateful for everybody who's watched and who has subscribed and who's just tuning in. I'm so appreciative because this is something that I've been trying to do for a really long time. Even before, like, so initially I really wanted to start my channel in 2020, but as you guys know, and as we all have experienced, it was just so hard being connected and just having such a positive mindset with this whole pandemic and with COVID happening. There was so much around us, like people losing their lives and just getting sick, and it was just so much going on in the world during that time, and it still is. Don't get me wrong, there's still a pandemic going on. It's still just as serious as it was when it first got here. But it was just that 2020 was just so hard for us to do certain things. Like my mental state just was not in the best place like everybody else, because we just did not know what was going on with the world. Do this really quick. So that's that. But I initially wanted to start in 2020. I put it on my like 2019 going into 2020 vision board, and it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen, and I'm okay with that, because things just happen when they're supposed to happen. You are in the place that you need to be when you need to be. Everything is not like, doesn't have to be perfect. Like, your time is your time, and I'm so happy that I started now than when I was going to do it, because I feel like I put a little bit more thought into it. I was able to, you know, just try some other things out before I just jumped straight into it like I was going to do initially. I feel like my ideas and the things that I'm looking forward to in having this channel and having this platform and creating my website and just building my brand overall is much better than the plan that I had before. So I'm totally grateful. So I don't have a list. I meant to make a list, so I only have my mental list. So I'm gonna go off my mental list of just like the top reasons. It's really just like, it's a lot of reasons, but I'll go over the top 3 that just made me feel like, yeah, I need to do this. The very first thing, and the one thing that like, this is my top reason why I felt like I was ready to start this YouTube and ready to take on this journey of building my brand, is having a creative outlet. I feel like I've always had something going on when it came to just being innovative and being creative and finding an outlet to put my imagination and the things in my mind on paper and have it physically come out of my mind and out into the world. And I feel like I've always had that. Even when I was younger, there's so many things that I just wanted to try and just do. And for example, like when I was in middle school, maybe like the 6th or 7th grade, I had this thing for hair. Like, I am not necessarily passionate about hair. Like, even to this day, I like to try to do my own hair. I do some of my friends' hair. I do my mom's hair. Like, I learned over the years how to do hair, especially when it came, ooh, sorry, I kicked y'all. So over the time, I've learned how to just do hair and like curl and flat iron and do wigs and sew-ins. Like, I just have had a passion in being hands-on and trying things more than I have a passion for like actually doing hair. And that's the same thing with like doing my nails, wearing my press-on nails, even like wearing acrylics at some point. Like when I was really young, I wanted to get into that. So when I was like, yeah, like I said, in the 6th or 7th grade, I had this thing for hair. So that's when, you know, back in the day, we was wearing the perms, we was doing like the perm rods, the flexi rods, we was doing roller wraps, and it was just that time. So I used to sit in the chair and I'm like, like I could do this for myself. Like, I know how to do my own hair by just literally sitting in the chair. Like, I could just feel her in my head. I would look at her in the mirror when she was doing my hair, and I'm like, I could do this in my own hair. So let me do these eyebrows real quick. So yeah, I had to do my brows off camera because I felt like I just had to really get into it, and they just take a little longer. So my dad's calling, sorry. But yeah, so what was I saying? Yeah, so when I was in like, I was younger or whatever, I wanted to do hair, like, and I didn't want to do it as like a career. I just felt like I knew that I can do it. I knew that I could come up with some like fun and cool styles that I could do on myself. I could do on my friends. I could do on my mom. I could do like my nails real cute. I just knew that I could do my nails and I could do my hair. So I was like, let me just try it. Let me just do it. And I was so into it to the point where my mom, for Christmas, one of those years, I don't know if it was the year before or after, but yeah, for Christmas, my mom went to the store and bought me so much hair supplies and so much nail supplies. She bought me flexi rods, like perm rods, roller set rods. I had like the hair dryer. I had the nail like acrylic shaver thing. I just had a kit full of a bunch of hair stuff, a bunch of nail stuff, every flat iron. I had a hot comb of my own that she used to put on the stove. I had every like inch of the curler set. It was like a set. I had the mini flat irons that we use now, like for the baby hairs. I had those for like short haircuts. Like my mom was like, yeah, you want to do it? Okay, go ahead and do it. So I ended up having so much stuff. So I used to practice on myself. I used to do my own hair. I used to do my own perms. And this was me in like middle school. I used to do my mom's hair. Like I used to just be practicing on family and like some of my friends. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like I really like this. I really enjoy it. But I didn't want to make it a profession or a career. I just knew that I liked it. So I'm like, okay, cool, let me just start my little hair business. So that's what I was doing. My mom used to pay me. My dad used to like let me do his, like clean up his nails a little bit. So yeah, that was just my creative outlet at that moment. I used to scrapbook a lot. I used to do a bunch of just like fun and creative stuff like over time. And I used to do a lot of fun and creative stuff over the years. Like when I went to college, that's when I first started my business. When I if you guys don't know, I have a business. Why is this acting like this? I'm gonna change it to this because I don't know why that's being weird. Why are you being weird to me? Makeup. Yeah, I don't know why my brush just did that. Maybe because it was still kind of stiff for me cleaning it. I don't know. But yeah, I just had such a creative mind. I had such a big imagination. I always tell myself what I was like. A lot of the stuff that I was going to do that I'm doing now, I always knew that I would do it. I always knew that I would be an entrepreneur. I always knew that I would just use my imagination to just create and just become some type of, what we call it, content creator. At the time, of course, I wasn't thinking about it like that. I just was saying to myself that I want to use my creativity to build my career. I want to use, you know, my mindset and my imagination and my passions and and my passions and all the things that I like out of a career. And I always said that about myself. I always knew that I would be in the beauty industry or self-care, whatever you want to call it, and like health and wellness, just taking care of yourself and your body, and just like fashion and creating. I just always knew that I would be a part of that space. I always knew that I would be a part of that space in some kind of way. So it was just like I always wanted to have some type of creative, you know, thing going on. And then high school is when YouTube just kind of blew up for me and my in my life. Like, I'm not gonna tell y'all when I was in high school because y'all gonna know how old I am, and I'm old. But yeah, in high school, YouTube was like the thing. Like, a lot of people only used it for watching music videos and listening to music, and it was just like I was using it at that time to like watch creators. And I think this was before creators were like even getting paid. They were just doing it just to do it. So I think at that time I wasn't really thinking about like starting one, because one, I didn't even have a computer with like a webcam. Like, I didn't even have that stuff back then. Like, I was into electronics, but I didn't really have that stuff until later on. Like, it took me a long time to get an iPhone. Like, I didn't really have the stuff that I needed to create the channel back then, but I was so into it. I used to watch like rap battles. Like, I used to watch hair stuff, all that. The first time I even bought like some bundles, like some hair bundles, was from watching Throwback Girls. Y'all know the OGs of YouTube, and those are girls that I was watching, you know. So I always was like, oh, I want to do that. Like, I could do that, I could do that. And then that's when makeup started coming in. That's when like MAC was real popping, and I was learning how to like do my eyebrows from YouTube, from all the YouTube girls. So I'm like, I should make a YouTube channel and do this. But it was like, I just didn't have the equipment. I didn't have the things that I needed. I didn't really know the steps to take to do it. So it kind of just became a thought of the past, you know. Like, it was just like, okay, it was just like, you know, I'm gonna do this at some point in my life. And then, like I was saying, I started my, I don't know if I said this, but yeah, I started my business in college. So that was like my creative outlet, you know, there. And I was like a part of, you know, a few like activities in college that allowed me to be like express my energy and express my creativity and imagination in some way, shape, or form. And it was just like, those things allowed me to be myself. I feel like sometimes we don't get that outlet that we need to truly be our genuine selves. And it's not because we don't want to be, it's just that I think we just think too much into it, and we just allow the outside world to influence us not to make certain decisions or do certain things in our lives because it seems impossible, or it seems like not normal, or not like what the next person is doing. So after college, you know, I had my business, and then it was like my business was going really well, but like many small businesses, and when you first start, you just learn as you go. Like, I didn't really have anybody telling me or showing me how to do anything. Like, I was just learning it and doing it on my own. And honestly, that was the best thing I feel like that could have happened, because it allowed me to be a very independent business owner. Like, I would, if I, you know, had the resources, I would use them, you know, when I needed the assistance. But that was very rare, because I didn't really have, or I really don't have, too many people around me that's doing the things that I'm doing. So it's like I'm taking the initiative to just trial and error and figure it out on my own. But that was the beauty of it all. Let me spray this. So yeah, but that was the beauty of it all. And then, like, I realized I wanted to approach my business differently. I felt like there was still some things that I needed to learn, and some other stuff that I needed to challenge myself with and just experience more, so that my business could grow. And I want to approach my business differently now. And when I say my business, I just mean my fashion business. Like, there are so many other businesses I want to have, but when it comes to like my fashion business, or like my styling, or whatever path I choose to take, I just want to go about it a little differently than how I have in the past. Not saying that those weren't good ways, not saying that I wasn't successful, but I just feel like I could be more successful at it, and I could achieve more if I just stopped. Not stop, but I had to look at my business from an outside perspective. You know how, like, in situations you don't really know what's going on with it when you're in it, and then when you take a step back and look at it from the outside, you realize, like, okay, this is where I went wrong, this is how I can change it. So that's where I am, like, with my fashion business. There were some things that I felt like I want to change and approach differently, so that I feel like my creativity is being challenged, and I'm actually pushing myself in a different direction when it comes to being unique and being different and being very daring in my fashion world of a business. That sounded so weird, but y'all get what I'm saying. I just want to approach it differently. So after that, it was just like I wasn't really doing much when it came to, I just wasn't really doing much after my business, especially when COVID hit. I just feel like it took a toll on me and my business. So it was like I stopped. I had a plan to just like rebrand and do stuff differently, but it just didn't work out. So I was like, okay, there's so much more that I want to do creatively. Like, I feel like I can't necessarily only focus on one thing. I need to have a good balance, and I feel like I didn't have that balance. I was just so focused on just that one thing, and I feel like I couldn't get creative in any other way, because you know how you do something so over and over again. You hear people on YouTube talk about it all the time, how they just like lose creativity, or they don't know, like they're running out of ideas. And I felt like that's where I was. So it was like, if I had something else, I could put my energy and my creativity into that other thing, but I didn't have anything else. And then starting a YouTube channel also was something that I just, like I was saying before, that I always wanted to do. So I'm like, let me jump into this, like, because I want to use this platform for something more than just my fashion brand. Like, of course I want to build a YouTuber wrapped around just like fashion and styling and picking out pieces and putting it together and just like seasonal, you know, like stuff. But it's just like I still want to build a YouTube channel and a business based off of me and my brand, because I feel like there's so much more that I have to offer. There's so much more information I have to provide. There's so much more education and just experience that I have that I would like to offer to the world, and I can't just necessarily do that through a fashion business, you know. And I enjoy content creating. Like, I enjoy editing videos, I enjoy developing websites, I enjoy creating social media posts, I enjoy just the challenge of being creative. And because I feel like I lack that, I'm like, okay, let me start this YouTube channel. Like, however it comes out, whatever it looks like, let me just do it. Because if I keep sitting on it, then, you know, the idea is just going to stay in my head. I can't tell you guys how many journals I had of just ideas of how to start this YouTube channel, what it should look like, what the name should be. And it was just like, I was just overthinking it when I could have just started. But again, I needed that time of overthinking it to really do it, you know. I needed that time. Just making sure it's still recording. But yeah, I needed that time to overthink it so that I could, you know, push myself to do it. So like this studio, y'all see, I started creating this in like 2019 because I had plans in 2020 to just jump into this idea and watch it, just jump into it and challenge myself to get it done. But I didn't, and I'm not upset about it. I'm not beating myself up about it, because again, like I said, you know, I just put that in my eye. It all just works out, you know. So like I said, this that y'all see, I started this like 2019 going into 2020, and then I'm gonna post another video about my studio space. Y'all gonna see the other stuff like behind the camera that I put together this year to just jump into this thing. So that's my number one reason. I just feel like I've always been a creative person. I've always had fun with just my imagination and my ideas, and just over time I haven't been able to maximize on all my creativity, and it just was taking a toll on me. I just feel like I wasn't having fun anymore with anything that I was doing in my life. And I know that sounds like so dramatic, but it's the truth. Like I will always just be doing like random videos on my phone and just like random videos on my computer, me just like talking to myself and talking out loud as if I had a YouTube channel. And I'm like, why don't I just start this? Like, I'm just sitting here and acting like I have one. Why don't I just jump into it and really do it? Because I'm fully capable, you know. I'm fully capable, and I need to get out of the feeling of being embarrassed and thinking that because there's so many people already on YouTube and already being content creators that it's impossible for me to be successful at it, or impossible for me to just do it, you know. Like, not even success when it comes to like money, but just taking the initiative to do something that you're afraid to do and challenging yourself to do it. Okay, yeah, I'm back again. I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on. I think because I have my ring light on my camera, it said that it kind of overheated, but it's not hot, so whatever. That just means I need to hurry up. But yeah, so I was just basically talking about, you know, just having that creative outlet. And you know, I'm gonna share a quick little story time with y'all. It's so crazy because when I initially started this year, like in April, just ready to start my channel and ready to just get everything together, I was just thinking about getting me a computer, because I do have a Mac laptop. I've had it for a really long time though. I've had it for I don't know, I had it for a long time, maybe like 7 years. So y'all know, in Mac world, 7 years having a Mac product is a very long time, like to the point where they don't even work on your stuff anymore at the Mac. Yeah, they don't even work on your stuff anymore. I did not mean to put on this much powder, but yeah, 7 years is a long time. So you try to take that to Mac, they're gonna look at you like, this needs crutches and we cannot provide that. So, and literally that's what they said to me when I took it there. They were like, oh, is it still working after 7 years? So surprised. But yeah, so I had it for so long, so there is only but so much space that I have left on there. Even when I go in there and delete stuff, it's just, oh, sometimes it like blacks out. But anyway, so because of that, I was like, okay, I want to start this YouTube channel and I want to do it right. Like, I want to, if I can invest into myself, then I will, you know. Like, I'm not going to spend a buku load of money to start something and not really know if I want to do it. Like, yes, I want to do it, yes, I want to get into it, but I'm like, let me try it out first and see if I like it before I put so much money and effort into it and I really do it and I'm like, not really. But I mean, I don't feel like that at all with this, but I'm just saying in general. So with that, I was just like, you know, I need a new computer, I need a new laptop. So I'm like, I'm not going to get a laptop, I'm going to get a desktop. So I do have a desktop that I bought, which is right here. But the story behind that is, I was telling myself, like I said, in April, I want to buy this desktop. I'm going to save my money. My birthday is in April, so I had saved up money for my birthday anyway, and I was supposed to go on a trip. Well, I did go on a trip, not supposed to, but I did go on a trip. I went to Jamaica, but at that time it was some stuff like just going on, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't go on this trip anymore. Like, maybe I should take the money from my trip and invest into myself and just like buy this laptop and buy this desktop, because y'all know Mac desktops are expensive. They are not cheap. So it was just like, it was gonna cost me a lot of money. So I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna do that. Like, my trip is already paid for. If it's meant for me to get this desktop, I'm gonna get it. So time passed. I'm like trying to save, not trying, but I'm like saving up for it. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get it. And then I just kind of like prayed about it and thought about it. I'm like, all right, I gotta really get this, because if you don't know, I do edit on Final Cut Pro, and iMovie is amazing. I've edited on iMovie before, but I just feel like the functionalities and the features and just what Final Cut Pro has is so much better when it comes to like editing your videos. So I'm just like, okay, do I want to put on my shadow? I think I'll put on the shadow. So I'm like, okay, I really want Final Cut Pro. Like, I want to be able to do this and that, whatever, you know, Final Cut Pro has. So I'm like, but in order to do that, I need a Mac with, you know, a better hard drive and just more space. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna buy it. So it's so crazy because I feel like I was manifesting that I was going to buy it. Like, I really didn't know how I was going to buy it, but I just knew that I was going to buy it. And some money came to me, like, randomly. Like, not even, like, it wasn't expected. Nobody, like, owed me anything. I wasn't going through anything, like it was just, like, random money that fell out the sky. Like, I was just like, wow. And it was the exact amount that I needed for a laptop. A little more, a little over. I mean, I keep saying laptop, but it was the exact amount I needed for a desktop. And I'm just like, wow, this is so meant for me to do this. Like, I've been talking about it for so long. I've been saying I wanted this desktop for so long, and it's so expensive. Like, how am I going to be able to get it and afford it and whoop de woo, all that? And then the money just came, and I'm like, all right. So second guessing myself, y'all, just overthinking. And it's so funny because I think God just laughs at us, because we be asking for stuff and he gives it to us in plain sight, and we still questioning, we still overthinking, we still just, yeah. So this is what I did. So I got the money and I put it to the side. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna use this to go buy my desktop. So I end up going to Apple, and I went to go look at the desktop like that same weekend. The money hit. I'm like, I don't want to put this, you know, I'm like, I don't want to keep the money and start using it on accident, not really trying to use it, but you know, just making dumb decisions sometimes. So I'm like, all right, cool. So me and my mom end up going to Apple, and I end up looking at the desktop. So I'm like, oh, they have the new ones. Y'all know the new ones. I don't even know which one it is, but they're new and they come in different colors. So I'm like, ooh, like, these are so cute. They're like smaller. I'm looking at it because it's right here. They're a little more smaller. I think the screen is like a 20 something inch, well, I don't know, but basically it's a smaller screen, and it's just a little bit more, you know, I think it's geared towards students, honestly, because I would have loved to have this as a student. You know, like the other Mac desktops are huge, but anyway, so I went to go look at it, and I saw the green one. I'm like, oh yeah, this is the one that I want. So I went to go look at it, and that's all I did. I talked to one of the staff members there, and I just asked them a bunch of questions about it, and then I didn't even get it. I had the money that I had went through, like, it not went through like clear, but it was in my account, and I could have just got it right then and there. But why didn't I get it? I don't know. Just thinking too much, just in my head. I don't know. I don't know why. See, for my mom was like, I thought you was coming here to get the the desktop. You just sitting here looking at it, like, and we end up leaving. So then like a week passed, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go get this daggone desktop. Then another week passed, still hadn't got the desktop. Money just sitting there. I don't know why. I can't explain to you guys why I did that, but I just did. So on my desk, y'all see like how y'all see this like side over here. You may or may not be able to see, but it's like my desk is in an L shape. So I was initially going to put my desktop like on this side of me. It's on this side. This is my left, even though it's filled. This is my left, this is my right. It was going to be on my right side, but this is also the side that I like walk in to get into sit right here. So I was like, I don't know, but that initially that was the place I was going to put it. But right there, I also had I had like a decor, like an office decor little piece. Nothing like crazy. It was just like this cute like knot. It was like one of those like knots. I'm gonna see if I can find a picture, but it was like a knot, and it was made out of glass, and it was really nice. It was actually really heavy. So I had it right here on, I had it like right there on the side, just as like some decor, just to make my little office desk look cute. So sometimes my mom comes down here to like use the desk, like if she's doing some work, if I'm not using it, she'll come use it. You know, it's just a nice space, a nice scenery. You guys know everyone's like working from home, so it's like kind of getting out of one space, whatever, like in your house where you're doing your work, just switching it up. So she came down here to work one day, and I think I was actually out of town. Well, I was doing something. Maybe I wasn't out of town, maybe I was just doing something, and she ended up breaking it. So I guess it was on the outside, which I should have moved it because it was just like in the way, but she ended up breaking it. And it was so crazy because the next day she forgot to tell me, but whatever. So the next day I came, you know, down here to work or whatever, and I saw like this, it was like a bag filled with the glass that was broken. So I'm like, she didn't broke something. But me, I'm not thinking nothing of it. I was just like, oh, something broke, you know. And I just kept walking because like she was wrapping it up in a bag so that it wouldn't, it was glass, you know, you wrap glass up in a bag so that it doesn't like break through my hair, in my face. So she had it in like a bag, and I just walked past it. I didn't think nothing of it. I was just like, oh, something broke down here, whatever. Or she broke something somewhere else in the house and just, you know, left it next to where we put the trash out. And then I sat at my desk and I'm like, something's missing, and it was that thing. And I was just like, oh, she done broke my thing, you know. I'm just like, oh, gee, it didn't broke. Like, I didn't break it, so I know she broke it. But I was like, dang, you broke the thing. And she was like, yeah, I accidentally hit it, blah blah blah. So it was so funny because I was just like, I wasn't sad about it, like it's just a material thing, you know. I was just like, dang, it broke. So when it broke though, I was just like, dang, why did it have to break? So I had this voice talk to me, and I heard the message so clearly, and it was like, it broke because you need to make room for the things that you want in your life. And I know it just seems such like a simple thing, like, wow, your decor broke and you got that big of a message, but it was like, make time and make room for the things that you want in your life. If this camera go out one more time, I'm gonna scream. But yeah, so anyway, like I was saying, so I was gonna initially put the desktop where I had that decor piece. So it was like, I felt like that message was telling me, just make time and make space for the things that you want in your life. Not saying that if that thing never broke that I wouldn't have went to go buy the desktop, but I feel like it was a push for me to go do it. Like, you want the desktop to go here, so boom, this gonna break, you need to put the desktop right here, you need to go get it. And it just made me think about like, oh, I need to go get this desktop. Like, I'm saying I want to do all of this, I'm talking about doing it, but I'm not doing it, you know. Like, it sound good, I'm making it sound good, I'm thinking about it, I'm writing all these ideas down, but I'm not like doing it, I'm not getting into it. And I just feel like that was the message that I needed to hear. And I feel like that's a message that we all need to hear, that you make time for the things that you want in your life. Like, no matter what it is, no matter if it's you making time for spending more time with your family, with your friends, if you're making time for building a healthier relationship with someone that you're dating, or if you're married, working on your marriage, you make time for your kids, you make time for, you know, putting in the work for your job, you make time for your business, you make time for the things that you want in your life, you know. And it's like, if you don't make time for them, then you'll never experience them, or it'll never happen. And it's like, I felt like that was the message, like, you make time, make space, put in the energy, put in the work that you want, you know, for the things that's happening in your life. You can't just expect for them to just pop up. You have to put in the work, you have to do your part as well. And I felt like I just wasn't doing my part, and I was about to get lazy, I was about to get comfortable again. And I had to realize, like, no, I have to get out of that comfort, because if I sit in it, if I stay in this comfort, if I keep putting off buying this desktop, it's going to take me longer to start this channel, it's going to take me longer to put this website together, it's just going to take me longer, because I'm just procrastinating and I'm thinking way too much about something that shouldn't, you know, it shouldn't be a question if I want to or not, if I'm going to do it or not. It's either you're going to do it or you're not going to do it. And I had to realize I want to do it, so I have to make time for what I want in my life. And it's so crazy, because if you think about it, like, a lot of the times, especially if you're working or if you have a job or whatever the case may be, or even like as a parent or as a teacher, or the things that you are committed to doing in your life that you built a habit of doing, and you know that you have to do them, because if you don't do them, you're going to face consequences. It's like for example, if you go to work every day, you know that you have to get up at a certain time, you have to be at work at a certain time, you have to do this type of work. Like, it's not like an option, like if you don't do it, that it's going to magically get done, or you aren't going to face consequences. Like, no consequences. Like, no, you have to do it. If you don't show up for something that you know you're supposed to show up to, you're going to face the consequences for it. And especially when it comes to your job. So it's like, why can't I put the same energy into building myself, building my brand, and building my business? Like, just because I won't receive any type of repercussions that I can't necessarily see, you know, like, I'm trying to put an example of, like, you know, if you don't go to work, somebody gonna complain about you not doing your work. Like, oh, Paige hasn't been doing no work. Like, she come to work every day and don't do no work. Somebody gonna complain about you. You know, you're gonna get in trouble for it. So to avoid that, you make sure that you do your work. Or if you don't do your part, somebody else's part not gonna be done, and it's gonna fall on you. And you know, it's just all those things that you think about. But when it comes to doing something like starting a business, or just picking back up on a hobby, or getting and going to therapy for, like, you know, just talking to someone about your mental health, like, when it comes to those things, you don't put an emphasis on it, because it's like you just feel like you don't have to do it. Like, you've been going through our life not doing it anyway. You won't receive any type of repercussions for not doing it, or, you know, it's just like, it's whatever. So it's like you don't do it. But it's like you have to think about the things that you love and the things that make you happy in that way. Like, I have to get up at this time so I can go jog, so I can reach this, you know, my goal for this month when it comes to my weight. Or I have to eat a little more healthier because I just haven't been feeling like myself, or I've been feeling kind of sick, or, you know, like, you have to make those things a priority in your life just as much as you make the other things in your life a priority. Your family is a priority to you, then you make sure that you make time to spend with your family. If your job is a priority to you, and you know that you need to have that job to pay your bills, you're going to get up and get there on time. If you know that you want to have a certain, like, freedom and be able to move about and do the things that you want to do, whatever that may be, in starting a business or just living freely or traveling the world, you know that there are certain things that you need to do to achieve that, and you have to stop and be able to do that. And, like, you can't just not do it because you're so comfortable with it not happening for you, you know? Like, and I have to think about my life like that. And it's just like, a part of this, me creating this YouTube channel and me having my brand, is just that, like, just stepping out on faith and just being uncomfortable, but doing things that I like, doing things that I love, challenging my creativity, challenging me to do things that I don't necessarily see the harvest of it now, but I know that it's coming later, you know? Like, it's just putting the work in to do it, and not, oh, I didn't mean to do that, I put on eyeshadow, but putting the work in to do it, and not looking for something in return as well. Because it's like, if you're looking for something in return, you don't get it in the time that you wanted to get it, then you're gonna feel like you're not supposed to be doing that thing, or you don't want to do it, you know? But it's like, I know that long term, that this is going to pay off for me, or it's going to put me in a position to do some other things that I want to do in my life. So I have to make time for it, and I have to do it. I can't just keep sitting on it. I can't keep talking about it. I can't keep writing it down. So that's kind of where I was this year, because I do that a lot. I write stuff down, I talk to myself about it, I, like, think of ideas, and I don't put them into play. Like, I just literally do that. I talk about them, and that's it. And it's just like, sorry, someone's texting me. I just think about them, and it's just like, no, I have to do it. So I feel like that was a lot for point one, but that's honestly my biggest reason for starting this platform. I just wanted to be more free in my creativity, more free in my imagination, and feel like that I'm pushing myself and challenging myself and being more creative, and challenging myself to try new things, and challenging myself to be just a little bit more open. So that kind of brings me to my second point of just being more open and creating conversations that are, I guess, no one really talks about. Like, I feel like we all suffer through certain things in our life that we choose not to talk about because we feel like we're going to be judged, or we feel like we don't have anyone to talk to. Or if you're like me, you're kind of a little more introverted and you don't really say what's on your heart or what's on your mind, or you don't really talk to people, you don't really go out and meet people. And I just feel like this is going to help me to create more conversations about things that I want to create conversations about, or lessons that I have learned, or things that I'm going through that I can share with somebody else to let them know that they're not alone, or people can share with me to let me know that I'm not alone. And I feel like, especially on YouTube, I love like chit chats like these, get ready with me's. I love when people talk about their experience and how it has, you know, pushed them to be the best version of themselves, or just help them to move forward into the next phase of their life, regardless if it's something that they're still working towards or if they accomplished something, whatever it may be. I just love those like chit chats and like talks, and just the openness and the transparency. And that's just something that I want to have on here too, just that transparency of where you are in your life, where you want to get to, knowing that it's still enough time and you don't feel left behind, or you don't feel like you just missed out on something just because you see other people around you, or just social media in general making you feel like you just can't. And it's like, everybody, it's possible for everybody. We all have the same 24 hours. I know that certain situations in your life, in my life, and other people's lives are different, and our circumstances are different, and it may cause us not to be able to do certain things in our life, but it's not that we will never be able to, you know what I mean? And it's just like, seeing people talk about that, seeing people be transparent about that, has really inspired me to talk about that as well, and to create those type of conversations that are not talked about, are not expressed, are pushed under the rug, are not, you know, just everyone's too afraid to talk about the things that they talk to themselves about alone. And it's like we go through our situations and our struggles alone so much, and I feel like it causes us to not be able to move forward in our lives, and we carry so much baggage because we don't have anybody to talk to. And I've definitely felt like that. So that's why I wanted to create a space where I felt like I was helping not only myself, but other people would talk about the things that prevent them from just growing, or prevent them from moving forward. Sorry, I had to do my liner off camera. But yeah, I just feel like we don't have many spaces to talk about the things that just prevent us from moving forward in our life. And you know, there's sometimes where you feel like you have to hold things to yourself, or you feel like you can't express them because you don't have nobody to talk to. And I feel like sometimes we be going through stuff and not knowing how to move forward, or we, you know, just get really down because we feel like, oh no, the world is picking on me. You know, it's like, oh, the world, my world is falling apart, and it's like, oh, it's just happening to me, oh, well, it's me. And it's like, actually, it's not really you. Like, if you had somebody else to talk to know that you aren't the only person going through it, then I feel like that would help you be able to look at the situation differently. I think that sometimes we feel like because we're going through something alone, or we're the only person that's going through it, that there is no other way, or we're never going to be able to move forward in this. And it's like, that's not true. We are definitely able to, sorry, I had to make sure it was still recording, definitely able to move forward and to get to that next place. But it's just like, you feel so alone, so you're just like, dang, I don't know if I'll be able to do this. Like, is anybody else out there experiencing this situation? And you'd be too afraid to ask, because sometimes you just may be embarrassed of feeling that way, or you just may feel like, you know, it's weird to feel that way, or it's not in your household, or in your family, or in your community, or in your culture. If you feel that way, that there's something wrong with you, or if you want to make this type of decision that it's not going to work out because nobody else has done it, and you just don't have the people around you that's doing this and doing that to help you know that it definitely is possible. So I just feel like I want to have this space where I'm able to talk to those people about that, and I'm able to talk, you know, I'm able to share my story as well, and I'm able to share my experiences with people to, you know, help me and help them. And I think that sometimes people can look at you and look at what you do online, or when they see you in person, or whatever the case may be, and they think that your life looks a certain, I keep kicking out. They may think that your life looks a certain type of way, or you have it all together, or you have this, or you have that, and it's just everything about your life, everything that you're doing is so perfect. And then sometimes people can look at your situation and say, well, oh, you have this going on, or you're doing that, so like, what you complaining about, what you stressed about, what you depressed about? Like, you have enough going on in your life, you're too young to feel this way, or you have this, or you was able to experience that, so why do you feel sad, or why do you feel this way? And it's like, sometimes people can question how you feel and invalidate how you feel because of their experience. And it's like, we all have, you know, experiences, and we all experience stuff. So I think that sometimes people look at me like that. I think people look at me and think like, oh, she is living this type of lifestyle, or she's doing this and doing that, so it's like her life looks like this and she doesn't experience that. And it's just like, no, like, I experienced the same thing that a lot of other people experience in their life, and I don't necessarily talk about it. One second. Yeah, if it's not somebody calling me, it's my camera getting hot. It's just a lot going on in this video, okay? But yeah, so I think that some people look at me and think that I be having it all together, and I don't. I'm just like y'all. I still, you know, experience certain things in my life, and I don't always have the best of the best days, the best of the best months, or the best year. Like, there are times, and there has been times where my situation and me, where I was mentally and even physically, emotionally, all that just was not in the best place. And to other people from the outside looking in, it seemed like I was okay, but I really wasn't. And I don't think that we talk about that enough. So it's like, all right, I want to build a platform where we talk about that. You know, there's so many other platforms that may talk about it, but it's like, okay, why can't I can still do it too. People want to know my experience, I want to know other people's experience. So it's like, why not talk about those things? But yeah, like, why not use my platform? Why not use, I mean, I'm saying like I have a big platform. I mean, coming soon, God got me manifesting that, you know, blessings are coming. But it's like, why not use this space? Like, I talk to people all the time. I feel like I'm a really great listener. I can give kind of good advice, even if you don't want my advice. Sometimes you don't need advice. Sometimes you just need somebody to talk to. And some people don't realize that. Sometimes you're not looking for, you know, feedback. You're not looking for somebody's perspective or opinion. You're not looking at, you're not asking them what you should do with your life. You just need somebody to talk to. And a lot of us need that. Sometimes sometimes we have the answer in us, or we already know what the answer is, or we already know how to solve the problem. We just need to talk it out loud to somebody, and it'll help us get through it. And I think that, you know, sometimes that's just the best way to do it, because we already have the answers. We already know what we want to do. We have that gut feeling, we have that intuition, and we know. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we need that other person to help us make a decision about something, or to talk to them about a decision that we're going to make, or something that happened. We want to make sure that we aren't, you know, looking at the situation from a negative perspective, and make sure that we aren't just going on a limb with something. You know, you just want someone's advice sometimes. And I think that we all need that. We all need that person. I do think that if you are struggling, like, mentally, and you are in a space where you feel like you just can't do anything, and I think that's for all of us, especially in our Black community. We all need some sort of therapy in some way, shape, or form. I really do think that. And I do think that it's okay for you to go seek that. And there should be no one that make you feel like you shouldn't. And even if there is, you should still do it anyway, because it's not about them. It's about you. It's about how you want to grow in your life. It's about how you want to be able to let go of the trauma or experiences or the pain that has been caused in your life, so that you can, you know, move forward and be a better version of yourself. And just not even, and I always say be a better version, but honestly, it's loving who you are in this moment too. I think being a better version comes with loving who you are in this moment. And it's like, if you can't have any type of self-love, if you can't have gratitude towards who you are right now, then you aren't going to be able to do it with that better version of yourself either. So that's just another long-winded explanation of why I wanted to start this platform. And then lastly, I have learned so much over the years when it comes to using just like creating a website, building a business, creating social media content, using Photoshop, using Illustrator, just like stuff like that. I don't even know what to call that. I'll think of a name for it and put it in our little list that we have here. But yeah, it's just like I've taught myself how to do so much. I went to YouTube University and learned how to do so much. So it's like I want to be able to teach that to people, and I want to show them how they can be all parts of their business when they need to be. Because you know, when you first start a business, you don't have money to just be paying everybody to do everything for you. Like, you're working with a small amount of money. Especially I was working with a small amount of money, but I've always loved like web design. I've always, you know, MySpace was like the start of that. Like, we used to be coding and stuff way back then, and it was like, I loved that. I enjoyed it so much. So yeah, I definitely want to be able to show people how to create like web stuff, web design, in a very like easy and basic way. I'm no expert. I'm probably not even intermediate, but I feel like I'm pretty good at it. Like, if you haven't checked it out, you could check out my website. I'll put it below. I created that myself. I did use a website platform where you can like drag and drop, but I still had to code a little bit. I had to do a little extra. So it was just like, that stuff is not easy. It really isn't. And if you don't have the resources, if you don't have the money to do it, it can be very discouraging to start your business or to build your brand or just to do anything, because you just feel like you aren't creative in that part of just business or whatever you're trying to do. So I definitely want to use this platform to be able to share that, to share resources, things that I use, things that I learned when it came to having a business. And I feel like there's so many other resources out there, but why not? I can still be a resource. I can still share information. I don't have to not do it because 100 other people are doing it, you know. So that's just how I look at it. That's just a shorter explanation of that. But yeah, so that's why I'm here on YouTube with you guys. I'm definitely done finishing my makeup. It's 5:30. I was supposed to be out of here about like 3. And a little blush. But yeah, I was supposed to be out of here at like 3. So, but I mean, it is what it is. I was doing some stuff earlier today too. But yeah, so I am going to take my hair out and I'll come back and give you guys the final look. Yeah, look at me. I look so cute. So my hair came out really good. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it's like a deep brown color. I normally always do black. I've tried color in the past, but maybe only like 2 times. So this is going to be the start of me trying color. So I'm gonna go from deep brown, like a dark brown, to some other color. So I love it. It came out so pretty, so perfect. My frontal is a little light right here. I'll probably fix that before I leave out, but other than that, I really love my hair. But anyway, thank y'all so much for tuning into this video today. I appreciate y'all time. I appreciate y'all subscribing and liking and commenting. I think overall in this video, what I wanted to get across was just that I felt like I didn't have any type of creative outlet, and this is something that I wanted to do for such a very long time, and now I've actually sat down and been able to do it. And I have so many other videos and so much other content planned for this channel and just for my brand in general, and I'm so excited that I've started this journey and I've started it with you guys, and I just hope that you stick around and that I help you and you help me and we help each other. Thank you guys again so much for tuning into this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope that you could relate to some of the stuff that I was talking about. I really appreciate you guys liking and commenting and subscribing. Make sure if you haven't, you check out my Hawaii vlog and you check out my Cancun vlog. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next videos. I am going to put out another vlog after this one, so make sure you check that out. I'll talk a little bit about like my hair and how I did it, and then you guys also get to see my studio space, which I'm so excited about. So thank you again for tuning into this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.